Hello again. Now that the leader of the Conservative Party, Kemi Badenoch, has announced that her party will examine the idea of the state pension being means tested, we may as well assume that this is what will happen within the not too distant future. The reason for this is that the present government is already toying with the idea, having tried out means testing the winter fuel payment and found that they could get away with it. The reason that both the main political parties in this country have it in mind to do this dreadful thing is really quite simple. It would certainly save a lot of money, and both are aware that by the time they are in their 60s, most old people are well and truly stuck in their ways when it comes to voting. Those who are Tory voters will continue to vote Conservative. Those who are socialists will carry on voting Labour. No, it doesn't really matter what their parties do or say, they'll carry on voting the same way in old age. There is, consequently, no point in trying to please this section of the electorate. It's a waste of time and energy. Far better to direct your attention to groups which might vote for you if you suck up to them. Students, immigrants, young married couples, homosexuals and so on. There are votes to be won in these groups, but not with the old. The other reason is that old people are enormously expensive in terms of benefits, hospital treatment and so on. They take up a lot of money and the sum grows greater every year. Then too, there is the popular perception among the young, particularly those aged between 18 and 34, that the baby boomers had it really good. They could afford to buy houses and generally live it up, and now they're really well off. They've got loads of money, but they still expect to live off the taxes paid by the younger generation. This creates resentment, and so an awful lot of young people would be quite happy to see old baby boomers deprived of some money. They had it so good, didn't they? And now they expect the working population to support them in their dotage. I do not say that I share this perspective, you understand. After all, I am myself a baby boomer, and so I have skin in the game, as they say. But without a doubt, this is what many young people do think, even if they don't always say so out loud. This too encourages politicians on both the left and the right to adopt a hard line and crack down on old people. A lot of them are well off, aren't they? Why should they receive a pension as well if they can afford to pay for things themselves? It's not fair on working people, is it? This then is the rationale behind making the state pension a means-tested benefit, and I'm bound to say that such a move would probably not be unpopular with anybody other than the old people themselves. Before taking this step, though, two other measures will be taken to test the water, as you might say, and see if it will be possible to cheat old people of their pensions without too many ordinary people cutting up rough. The first of these preliminary steps will be the abolition of free prescriptions for old people. It is already being argued that this is unfair because it means that even a millionaire who is in his 60s doesn't have to pay for his prescription. That's not right, is it? Surely that benefit, like the winter fuel allowance, should be means tested. Then there is free travel for old people, the bus passes to which they are entitled. Again, the logic for making these means tested is also quite persuasive. If those steps are taken without too much fuss and opposition, then it will be easy enough to set the stage for the means testing of the state pension. This will mean, of course, that the feckless and improvident, those who pissed their money up the wall when they were younger, will be entitled to the pension, but those who were thrifty and lived within their means, planning for the future, will not. Unjust? Certainly. But as I say, most people in this country would probably approve of such a scheme.